Hello and welcome. Before we begin, take a moment to imagine a very familiar scene. You're going about your day, maybe at work, on the street, or in a room full of people, and suddenly, someone speaks in a tone you didn't expect. A sharp comment, a personal jab, a disrespectful remark, or even a full-on insult right in front of others. Instantly, you feel the shift. Your heart beats a little faster, your breathing changes, a wave of heat rushes up your chest, your mind starts preparing a comeback, even if you don't say it out loud. This is the moment where most of us lose control. We react, we defend, we get angry. We let someone else's words shape our emotional state. But what if there was another way? What if you could reach a point where insults, criticism, and disrespect were nothing but passing shadows, unable to influence your inner world? What if no matter what someone said, you stayed steady, calm, and completely unbothered? It might sound unrealistic, maybe even impossible, but the ancient Stoics lived like this every single day. And today, I'm going to guide you through how you can build that same mental armor, one that protects you from negativity, disrespect, and emotional manipulation. This is not about pretending you don't feel anything. It's not about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about developing control. Control over your reactions, control over your internal state, control over your peace. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to train your mind so deeply that anger becomes a choice, not a reaction. Let's begin this journey together. Anger is one of the most powerful emotions we experience. It arrives fast, spreads quickly, and blinds us almost instantly. When someone disrespects you, it feels like a threat, like someone is trying to take away your worth, your dignity, or your power. And this is precisely why anger feels so overwhelming. It tricks us into believing that reacting is the only option. But the Stoics understood something different. They believed that the source of our anger is not what people say, but the meaning we attach to what they say. We assume their words have power. We assume their behavior defines something about us. We assume that disrespect demands retaliation. But what if it doesn't? What if disrespect only has power when you allow it to? The Stoics taught that real freedom begins the moment you stop letting other people's actions dictate your emotions. When you stop letting insults enter your heart, you stop feeding anger with fuel. Once you understand this, you begin to see disrespect differently, not as a battle you must fight, but as noise you can simply ignore. And that's exactly what we're going to build in the next sections. A mind that isn't shaken by words, a mind that isn't controlled by others, a mind that can choose peace over reaction. The first step on this path is reframing, learning to interpret insults in a way that removes their emotional sting. Think about this. If a small child called you a failure or an idiot, would you take it seriously? Probably not. Not because the words are different, but because their judgment doesn't matter to you. So why is it that when an adult says something similar, we immediately feel attacked? Because we unconsciously give their opinion value, even when we don't need to. Seneca wrote that people suffer more from imagination than from reality. And when someone insults you, your imagination takes over. You start thinking, what if they're right? What will others think? Why would they say that? But here's the truth. Insults are rarely about you. Most people project their own insecurity, anger, and dissatisfaction onto others. When someone attacks you, they're often revealing their inner chaos, not your shortcomings. Reframing means seeing insult for what it truly is, a reflection of the person speaking, not the person listening. So the next time someone throws negativity at you, pause and tell yourself silently, "This is a mirror of their mind, not mine. This is their struggle, not my identity." Do this consistently, and you'll notice insults losing their power. The next principle is one of the most powerful concepts in Stoic philosophy, the distinction between what you can control and what you cannot. Epictetus, once a slave, built an entire philosophy around this idea. He said that trying to control what's not ours to control creates endless suffering. Let's break it down. Things you can't control. The words someone uses, the tone they speak in, their judgment, their opinion, their bad day, their issues, their insecurities. Things you can control. Your calmness, your interpretation, your reaction, your self-respect, your inner peace, your silence, your boundaries, your choices. Read that again. The moment you realize you do not control someone's behavior, you stop feeling responsible for their actions. You stop trying to change them. You stop wasting emotional energy on things you cannot influence. And this shifts you from being reactive to responsive, from emotional chaos to emotional stability. The Stoics believed that our peace comes from focusing only on what lies within our power. And the only thing fully within your power is yourself. Now we move to the third idea, negative visualization, preparing the mind before the day begins. This is not pessimism. This is emotional preparation. Every morning, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Today I will meet people who are rude, selfish, arrogant, ungrateful, but none of it will disturb my peace." Why did he do this? Because if you expect people to behave perfectly, you will always be disappointed. But if you expect human behavior to be flawed, then nothing surprises you. And surprise is what triggers emotional reactions. Think of it like training. When you expect insults, disrespect, misunderstandings, or conflict, you prepare your mind to respond with calmness when they actually appear. A mind that expects the challenge doesn't panic. It doesn't react impulsively. It doesn't lose control. And this practice alone can transform your emotional resilience. Each morning, take 30 seconds and say to yourself silently, "I will face negativity today, but I will remain grounded. I will encounter disrespect, but I won't absorb it. I expect challenges, and I'm ready for them." This simple ritual can change how you meet every moment of your day. Now we come to one of the most misunderstood, yet most powerful techniques. Responding with complete calmness, or responding with nothing at all. When someone tries to provoke you, they expect a reaction. They want you to get angry. They want you to defend yourself. They want you to lose emotional control. Why? Because if they can control your emotions, they control you. But when you refuse to respond, when you remain calm, silent, steady, you take away all their power. Think of anger like fire. Your reaction is the oxygen. When you don't feed the fire, it burns out. You don't win by shouting louder. You win by not letting the other person dictate your state of mind. Here are the strongest responses you can give. A calm breath, a gentle smile, silence, walking away, changing the subject, keeping your tone steady, saying, "I understand," and nothing more. These responses aren't weakness, they are mastery. Because the strongest person in the room is always the one who stays composed, not the one who shouts the loudest. Building an unshakable mind is not a one-time technique. It is a daily discipline, a practice. If you want to be emotionally strong, you must train your mind the same way you train your body. Here are 3 practices every Stoic followed. Meditation. Sit with yourself for a few minutes. Notice your thoughts. Let them pass like clouds. Don't fight them. Don't judge them. Just observe. This builds emotional awareness, the foundation of emotional control. Journaling. Write down moments where anger almost took over. Ask yourself, why did it trigger me? Was it about the person or about my insecurities? Could I have stayed calmer? This reflection rewires the mind. And self-conversation. Talk to yourself the same way you'd talk to a close friend. Encourage yourself, guide yourself, stabilize yourself. A mind trained daily becomes a fortress, and no insult, disrespect, or negativity can break through it. When you combine all these practices, reframing, controlling what you can, preparing your mind, non-reaction, and daily discipline, something incredible begins to happen. You stop getting angry at people's words. You stop feeling attacked by small things. You stop letting others define your emotional state. You become grounded, steady, untouchable. People will still try to provoke you, but you won't feed their fire. You'll see the world differently. You'll understand people more deeply. You'll react less and respond more. You'll become someone whose peace no one can steal. And that is true strength.